Welcome to the Disrupt Now podcast. This is Natalie Viglione, your host, and this is season 2, unlocking the cosmic mysteries around New Earth magic. My desire is to bring conversations that serve as cosmic medicine for all of the sacred souls that seek the revealing of the magic and mystery of the organic celestial energies. I powerfully step in as a sacred vessel for the cosmic mother, or as we can say, the divine feminine energy rising. I walk an authentic druidic path of primordial tradition, and I am here to share wisdom and highest truth for the betterment of all beings, animals, minerals, plant life, and all that is. Please join me on this journey to explore and awaken the magic again. Get ready to delve into the epic quest of patching up your self-worth wound and watch as it lights your spark to your sacred quest. I will speak on 3 wonderful techniques to do when self-worth takes a hit. When a hit happens, it's like putting a lock on our potential, stopping us from uncovering and rocking our true calling. Join me as we're going to delve into these 3 techniques to mend the self-worth wounds, unravel the consequences of not owning your worth, and unveil the alchemy that kindles the flame of self-worth, thus empowering your quest in the most epic ways possible. Team Goo. All right, let me share a quick essence of this before we dive in. The goo is short for gurus, and most people don't know this, but here's what a guru really means. So a guru is an influential teacher or a guide, but the etymology of the word is what's interesting. Guru in Sanskrit, gu stands for darkness and ru stands for light. So a guru is a guide or an influential teacher who brings what is hidden or in the darkness into the light. And that's really what Team Goo is all about, illuminating your unique path to get your truth and magic of your sacred mission and that purpose that you hold into the world further. Because you can build your sacred mission without having to sacrifice your values and your soul. It is possible. And it's truly my heartfelt mission to support all the indigos, the starseeds, those that I call the cosmic wanderers, all humans that are here to serve with a sacred mission, helping and serving as pioneers in this massive paradigm shift of consciousness. And this journey to reclaiming self-worth is at the root about breaking free from the feelings of unworthiness. And when you rediscover or reawaken your value and gain the confidence to embrace your sacred mission with clarity and igniting that passion, this is when, from my lens, when true evolution begins to take place. And what used to feel difficult feels easier, feels more open, and you're allowing while directing. And there's been a lot of new age spirituality deception, I feel, and I see. It's created an inversion of truth, which then does create confusion. And this deception is about believing that the world will change just by spiritual bypassing it, or just by praying for it to change. And then there's this other element that being spiritual means you don't need this thing that we've called money. And then there's also this thing called pretending we're in 5D. And the truth is about that last note, at the 5th dimensional and higher, consciousness is pouring in, but we are not in 5D. And in fact, it's a 4th density being realm that's actually being birthed. And so there's all of these terms and things that are jumbled up, they're confused. And what I've seen is it's really making those that truly hold sacred missions in their sacred heart more confused. This other aspect that I see a lot of holding or anchoring is that if you're a spiritual entrepreneur, a spiritual being, a spiritual sacred mission holder, that you must live in poverty. And what I believe and what I see and what I know is that all of what I would call low magic spells and attacks against the sacred mission holders, and this has been that way for many generations. And of course, the truth is it's much longer than that. But time really isn't linear anyway. So when I started Team Goo, I wanted to create, ultimately, a pathway for those who seek a new path and a way forward, because I didn't see all the ways, of course, that I would evolve. Not at first. And I wasn't exactly clear in who I needed to serve. But what I knew at the heart of it all is that the old ways in this thing that got coined as marketing actually is really toxic. And what mainstream marketers have done and are doing is toxic in that mainstream way, because there's still a focus on this materialism. It's about greed and competition. And it's like people are trying to be worshipped, which is a complete inversion of what should be. And since I feel that the word marketing has been hijacked, I actually don't use it anymore. So you're going to hear me say this a lot. I'm going to use magic to portray the fact that marketing is actually bringing out our innate and divine gifts into this world. And this is our unique magic. And so it's imperative that those that feel called and do hear that primordial call of the sacred mission from within to launch and to fully ignite that mission. And what we need to be clear on is there's not waiting for something in the future, because there are energies that are supporting this all now and unfolding the sacred purpose, which is vital to well-being overall. And I don't know about you, but I didn't come to Earth to live a meager life that lacks sacred respect, truth, honor, courage, and justice. I came here to create a new world that can give rise to universal order, galactic order once again. And we are bringing and anchoring what has been coined heaven into earth once again. And I have a YouTube channel called Awakening Magic, where I go into the depths of the soul and esoteric and primordial wisdom through storytelling. So you may want to check out my videos there too. And there's one video on that channel that I want to recommend because it's really related to what I'm speaking to in this video from the Awakening Magic channel that I run, and it's called Dragon's Rise. And this video is a deep dive into the energies of this year and why it's imperative to ensure that you are rocking your sacred mission and moving into it with your full attention. And when I say full, what I mean, that doesn't mean full time. That means clear intention, removing blockages and getting that magic of yours into this realm more and more and more. And you'll never hear me talk about the hijacked words like wealth or success, because those words shouldn't have been tied to this control mechanism that cruel factions in this world created, which is this thing that has been called money. But what I do talk about instead is self-worth, because that is energy. And when a sacred mission holder doesn't have full trust or respect and a deep honor held for themselves first, they're not able to see their total entire value. And this is when the self-worth conversation comes into play. So if, as I know and you know, we're here to co-create a whole new world, connecting back into origin, building what we could say is a galactic civilization again, with the connection into what we could call true God source or primeval conscious energies of the divine. And we're looking back at the Holy Trinity again at the center of it all. Then we don't have time to F around and allow others to break down our self-worth energies any longer. We must relearn what it means to truly love ourselves, have mutual honor and respect for ourselves, which then this creates the same for others. And honestly, this entire realm's natural essence that we see reflected back to us every day, nature and Gaia. And we must let go of anything that holds us back. Letting go of anchors is a huge key to unlocking the ability to derive from the sacred fire that's within. And when we walk the line of having sacred respect for ourselves, we begin to see that we should never, ever have tolerated things that takes our self-worth away, or things that make us believe that we're not enough. And I've been initiated into primordial wisdom and have had many visions, dreamtime sessions and such, since my soul stream of consciousness, in alignment with divine energies of all that is, asked me in 2016 to begin my sacred path. And I've been walking this path for 8 years now, and part of that was the need to heal wounds about my worth. And I know this from the experience of doing. Healing that wound helps us to align around the how and the why of our powerfully creative process. So, tip 1, self-worth has absolutely nothing to do with financial worth. These two things are not connected and are separate energies. Your soul's value and worth has nothing to do with this false prison system's controlling mechanism they call money. And if you begin to separate your feelings about your worth from what's in that thing called bank, this begins to peel away those layers and ensures that you're not emotionally tied to that paper thing or that digital crap that they've coined as money. Begin to see the true value, worth, as being so much more than that. Your value is magnificent light that has been brought into this thing that we call matter. And there is sacred purpose within you. And there's a reason why you're here, as you know. And if you're watching this, it's because you are already running, or you are holding your sacred mission. You're doing it. Or maybe you're really on that verge of doing it, or you're ready to even refresh it because you've evolved. And you're here because you have worth in many densities and dimensions, not just this one. We are all multi-dimensional beings. And so a good mantra as part of this tip is to say something like this. And I promise that if you say this daily for a while, you pick that a while, you'll begin to peel more and more layers. So here's the mantra. My self-worth is not attached to this thing they call money. My true worth is what I bring through from the power of my sacred soul. And I am connected to the divine within all things. If we aren't emotionally connected to money, does that mean money isn't important? Well, unfortunately, we live in a false prison system, and they made this thing called money become a crutch for living. What we can do is change the way we see that stuff called money and look at it as an energy exchange. So this brings me to tip number 2. A deeper question is this. How much of a wake, not awake, but a wake, are you creating as you drive your sacred mission boat? Are you creating ripples or waves? Is the wake small? Or are you going deep and moving with intention and consistency as you drive your sacred mission, which isn't a boat, but rather a sacred mission yacht? And the wake of that yacht is this thing called money. So as you switch the lens to look at this, see these things as energy that either we are hindering or that we are powerfully cultivating and creating. And when you're riding that sacred mission yacht with intention and being consistent in how you show up in that wake of that yacht includes the energy of the thing called money that follows your mastery. It flows behind you and into you because you're hyper focused. However, you aren't focused on that wake only, meaning you aren't focused on that fake monopoly stuff this world has portrayed as important, but instead you're 100% focused on your mission and serving others. You are focused on the strategy and the way and where you're driving that sacred mission yacht. You're not in it for profit. Instead, you are in it for the humans, earth and for the animals, all things for the good of who you serve and the good of all in this realm. So when you're hyper-focused and you are living the it, which is your unique mastery and magic, and you're doing it with grace, ease, and with absolute intention, cultivating and using the creative power within, then everything begins to fall in line and harmonize. So flipping your lens to ensure that you see the thing called money is really just a thing that's following your energy. So you're exchanging your value with this other energy coined as money. So begin to value yourself, value your time, value your energy. Remember that others invest in your guidance, service, or a product of some kind or whatever that is because you bring value to them. And when you get keyed in to driving value for those you serve, the energy of all things feel that focus. This focus will bring you more of what you create, value. So it creates synergies in this realm and has ripple effects that go out and then come back to you. It's spiral. Also, you can look at it this way, and I'll share an example from my own life. My husband and I are really taking a leap and doing some huge things. We have land, and we are building our home and building our small sacred grove, as I say, that is going to be our sanctuary that we will open in unique ways to others down the line. We recently moved to yet another new state, and then we are taking huge leaps with each stride in harmony together. So huge waves of our wake, we call those dollars generated, are going into the sacred land that we were called to become guardians for. So we are becoming stewards of the goddess, which is the land. We are bringing the purest of pure hearts to support Gaia and nature and have so much gratitude and respect for all things, because this mission is everything to us. And everything my husband and I are doing is in total alignment with all that we honor and we treat as sacred here in this realm. So when we have this kind of focus and adoration, respect, all things are provided, and you pour all of your heart and soul into these things that are sacred. And when we feel into that, it serves us as we serve the energies. This is how many of us can create harmony. This is the kind of synergy to remember that is possible for all beings. We can bring abundance by serving in this way. And notice, you didn't hear me focus on anything material. That materialism, BS, is just that, BS. It's not real. But what is real are sacred bonds with the living eternal essence that is held within all things. And when we serve all of that versus serving what I would say are the beastly machinations of the negative factions that hijack this realm, when you serve from the sacred heart that's within you, you are served back. And all things begin to balance. It's work. It takes focus, clarity, intention, but it's worth it. So that brings me to tip number 3. Focus on value and only value, and remember your uniqueness. Your value is something that needs to be translated into this energy exchange. And when you focus on all of the value that you are bringing, this changes the way you see what you're doing. And instead of seeing the things that you do as products or the services, start seeing your work as the sacred mission that it is. And the energy exchange is the value that you're providing to those that you are here to assist and serve. And the most magnificent thing is that you are bringing a value that no one in this realm can bring. Yes, uniqueness is the vital key. The unique snowflake comparison is relevant here. Even if there are others that do the same things that you do at that foundation, the best thing about you is that you are here to bring your essence into that. You are unique. and based on your values, your upbringing, your journeys, quests, and your mission at hand, no one will ever see things the same way as you see them through your eyes. And when you truly know your uniqueness, you begin to change the way you show up in this realm. You begin to see the value that only you can provide. And this changes everything. This becomes the icing on the sacred mission healthy cupcake, because now you can see you through a whole new lens. See your uniqueness, see your unique magic, unleash your divine gifts, and the world cannot stop you. Unleashing the truth and the magic of who you truly are is essential. This is how you overcome self-worth hurdles. Letting go of distorted New Age ideas and other false programmings are the other layers. There are many that still allow those false programming systems to hinder their progress. So don't buy into the lie that to be spiritual and run a sacred mission means that you can't have that thing called money. But what is required? Changing the way you approach that thing called money, as I mentioned previously, so that you're not attached to things, but you're attaching back into true sacredness. And a deeper poverty wound, we could say, is a wounding that can happen in our youth. It can be carried into your energy via your ancestry, your lineage, of which, don't forget, you are your own ancestor when you think about the other incarnations you carry. So it's carrying an energy within you. Because we are spiritual, sacred mission runners, or as the hijacked realm calls businesses, it doesn't mean that we should live in this thing that's been called poverty. That is something that can be carried over. And this is New Age hijacking on truth. We have to go back to origin around what this all means. And when you are here as a sacred mission holder, one of the most important things to remember is that you are here to ignite the power from within you. You are here to become a divine co-creator with the energies of the all. Seek to ignite the sacred fire within you, and this can help free you from the old hijacked energies trying to hinder and stop your evolution. If you're not consistently seeking to continue to unlock the full potential of who you are, this is a lifelong journey and it's a lifelong quest, truly, then what happens is the energy of the momentum gets stifled and slowed down, and then often it can come to a halt. And what this means is the essence of what I call primordial fear is still in control of your being. So it's essential to really get to the core of where that stems from, get into the root. For example, if you're afraid to speak your truth and you're really still caring what others might think of you when you speak certain things, that means you could have, for example, a persecution wound from other incarnations that are stopping you in this one. That's why it's time to look deeper than ever before into those hidden places within you and to ensure you bring them into the light. This is really how you become your own guru. As I mentioned previously, that is really what the guru word means, bringing that which is hidden or in the dark to the light. And I've had to do these things myself, so these are all aspects of things that I've used and they work. And one last item I'd like to drop here is that this world needs your magic. It needs all of us who came here with sacred missions to ensure that we are living and doing our unique mastery and pouring out our greatest and most sacred service that we are here to bring. We are here to break the low and vile magic of the negative factions that keep humanity small and trapped in what I call their death system. Because it's time to live. Change the world by unleashing your unique mission with all of your essence. And let us all show the world what true action looks like. We'll all serve under this umbrella of kindness and compassion, and together we can show the planet the power of our collective impact. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening to the Disrupt Now podcast. Please leave us a review. Also, if you want to get these episodes to your inbox, go to disruptnowpodcast.com and you can drop your email in. You can also see all of the episodes since day one. If you'd like to connect, we have a couple of different ways. You can join us on Telegram. The group is called Awakening Magic. Or if you want to drop a line, email us at info@natalieviglione.com. Thank you for being here on this journey to awaken the magic again.